Hello, this is a Dell laptop with two operating systems, macOS and Windows 11 installed. If you also have a Dell laptop and want to install macOS and Windows 11, how to do it? First, you need two USB sticks, each with at least 8 GB. I will show you how to do that in this video. I'll make the macOS installer first, so I'll plug it into the laptop. One USB stick to use to install macOS and the other to install Windows 11. In this video, the red USB stick is used to install macOS and the blue USB stick is used to install Windows 11. You format the red USB stick before copying the necessary files and name it however you want. Before creating a macOS installer for Dell laptops, you need to know what model your processor. So you use CPU-Z software to check. As you can see, the model of the processor I am using is Haswell. Your processor may be different, so you need to check before downloading the right file. The model of your processor determines which EFI file you will use for the macOS installer. You will then download the appropriate EFI file for your laptop. I will put the download link in the description of the video. Chances are your processor model will be different from mine. After getting the EFI file, you download the macOS installer. Here I will install macOS Big Sur for my laptop. This file you can use for many different processor models. I will put the download link in the description of the video. After obtaining the necessary files, you copy and paste them into your USB stick. Don't forget to change the name to EFI after copying. You need to make sure the files have been copied successfully. Then you safely remove the USB stick that stores the macOS installer from the computer to avoid data damage. Having created the macOS installer, I continue to create the Windows 11 installer. I plug the blue USB stick into the laptop. How to create a Windows 11 installer is nothing special. First, you download the ISO file of Windows 11 from the Microsoft home page. Then you use Rufus to create the Windows 11 installer. I will put the download link in the description of the video. I have already downloaded the ISO and Rufus files to my computer. You open Rufus software, select the USB stick and browse to the ISO file to create the installer. Don't forget to set up GPT when creating the Windows 11 installer. Rufus will help you create a Windows 11 installer for computers with unsupported hardware. If your laptop has unsupported hardware, check it here. The next thing is to wait. So I have created two installers for macOS and Windows 11. To install macOS for laptop, I will plug the red USB stick into the target laptop. Next, I would set up the laptop to boot from that USB stick. It will take you about 45 minutes to install macOS. You follow the steps as above to install macOS for Dell laptop. Before installing macOS, you need to format your hard drive in the format of macOS operating system. You select the hard drive, erase it and format it. Next you name it. Here I name it macOS. You set up as above to format the hard drive. If your laptop has multiple hard drives, then you need to make sure to select the correct hard drive and give it a name to avoid installing on another hard drive. The hard drive has been formatted. Next you need to make sure the laptop is connected to the internet. You can use wireless or wired network. I recommend you to use a wired network for faster installation and avoid errors during installation. The computer is connected to the internet. Next you install the macOS operating system on the hard drive that was formatted in the previous step. Your laptop will reboot several times during the installation of macOS. Your laptop will reboot several times during the installation of macOS. After about 45 minutes of waiting came the final installation steps. Let's finish it together to get the first operating system, which is the Big Sur macOS. Here you will be asked to create an account, set up the language and a few more things. You are also required to connect to the internet. If you are installing macOS for the first time, then follow the steps as I did above to complete the installation. So the Dell laptop has been installed with the macOS operating system. But if you want to boot the macOS operating system, you can't remove the red USB stick containing the EFI file. So you need to copy the EFI file to your laptop's hard drive. To do that, you mount the EFI partition of the macOS operating system. I will put the download link in the description of the video. After downloading, open the file mount EFI command. Here the computer's hard drive has the ordinal number 2. The number 1 is the USB stick. To be able to access the EFI file of the macOS operating system, choose 2. You should now be able to access the system's EFI folder. You replace the EFI folder on the hard drive with the EFI folder on the USB stick. After copying the EFI folder on the USB to the computer hard drive, you can remove the USB stick from the laptop. Now you can boot macOS without USB stick. It's time to install Windows 11 on the laptop, so you create a new partition to install it. You open Disk Utility on macOS operating system and create a new partition. Depending on the capacity of your hard drive, create a suitable partition. Windows 11 operating system requires at least 52 GB partition for installation. Use Setup as above to create a new partition. After creating the new partition, turn off the laptop to change the USB stick. Now it's time to use the second USB stick. In my case it was blue. Don't forget to set up your laptop to boot from the Windows 11 installer. How to install Windows 11 is simpler than installing macOS. You just need to pay attention to choose the right partition to install to avoid destroying the macOS operating system. Here the hard drive has 3 partitions. You install Windows 11 on the last partition. Because this partition was created on macOS, so you should delete it before installing Windows 11. Then you wait about 15 minutes to complete the installation. You will be asked to set up the network, language, keyboard when installing. If you can't boot macOS after installing Windows 11, then see how to fix it at the end of this video. You reboot the laptop with Windows 11 installed and access its BIOS. You follow the steps as above. You create a new boot option. You browse to the boot folder in the hard drive's EFI partition. Then you choose the file bootx64.efi to boot. You name this boot setup. Here I name it Dual Boot. Next you will set new creation as priority number 1. With this setting, you can fix the error of not being able to boot the macOS operating system. Next steps, I will boot the operating systems one by one to make sure everything is fine. It's nice to be able to install 2 operating systems on one computer, macOS and Windows 11. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.